every city had its baseball heroes. In New York, if you chose to be a Yankee fan during the 1950s, your hero was Mickey Mantle. Billy Crystal.
I felt that when I went to a game in Yankee Stadium, that Mickey Mantle knew that I was in the ballpark. I strongly felt that he was saying to himself, I better have a good day today. Bill's here. Damn, I don't feel good either. I gotta get a hit or steal a base or throw somebody out. He paid his $350. Mickey Mantle was everybody's hero. He was who you wanted to be. I mean, I walk like him, I talk like him. I did my bar mitzvah with a drawl, you know. He was a stunning athlete to watch.
So too were many other stunning athletes who, through the years, were heroes around the country as well. Donald Honig.
Now, baseball has its own private universe, with its own deities, its own Lucifers, its own fallen angels. Babe Ruth, of course, is the deity.
Haywood Hale Broun.
When Miller Huggins was managing the Yankees, Miller got sore because Babe was not showing up for batting practice. And he said to the then traveling secretary, Mark Roth, if that big bum doesn't show up for batting practice, I'm really going to tear him apart. Well, 5 minutes before game time, he came in shedding camel's hair, throwing his cap, his coat. Went out and hit a home run, 2 doubles and a single or something. And Roth, who was something of a troublemaker, said after the game, hey, Miller, you're going to say something to Babe about not making batting practice? Go on. Miller said, yes, I was. Hey, Babe. Yes. Hi, Babe. He was the hero in excelsis. I mean, he was in his appetites overpowering, in his play overpowering, in his joy in life overpowering.
A writer once said that to capture Ruth with cold statistics would be like trying to keep up with him on a night out. His unparalleled ability and unmatched personality on and off the field made him a tremendous attraction everywhere he went. New York Yankee, Frank Crosetti.
Every time I go to the bat, I try to hit a home run because I know the people come out to see me hit a home run, which they did. They did. And when he'd strike out, and I mean he struck out, he really went, well, and they would even get a charge when he struck out. They would even, hey, they would yell even on that. I think there's only one number that should ever be retired from the Little League clear on up to the Major Leagues, and that's Babe's number 3. I think that the game owes that to the Babe.
3 years after Ruth retired, he became a first base coach for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1938, more for his value as a public attraction than a baseball man. Nearly a decade later, he was stricken with throat cancer. Haywood Hale Broun.
He shrank away and was a shadow, but in Greek myths, heroes always die in battle, which is as perhaps it should be. They have died in the fullness of their strength. They have never shrunken. They have never grown old. The old athlete is almost always an object of pity. Brief is the season of man's delight, but at that moment, just as Gehrig said, this is the happiest day of my life when he was dying, what is now coursing through you is not the thin blood of the last days of your life, but the flood of memories of the things you did when you were there.
Babe Ruth made his last appearance in a Yankee uniform in June of 1948, moving tribute to a man and an era now long gone.
The only real game, I think, in the world, baseball. There's been so many lovely things said about me, and I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to thank everybody. Thank you.
Broadcaster Mel Allen.
2 months later, Babe passed away. The people were lined up all around Yankee Stadium, many with babies in their arms, waiting to pass by and pay their last respects to Babe Ruth. I went over to one gentleman and I said, "You'll forgive me, sir, but I said, why would you bring your baby with you?" He said, "Well, when he grows up, I can tell him that he saw the greatest baseball player of all time."
Game called. Across the field of play, the dusk has come, the hour is late. The fight is done, and lost or won, the player files out through the gate. The tumult dies, the cheer is hushed, the stands are bare, the park is still. But through the night there shines the light of home beyond the silent hill.
Game called, where in the golden light the bugle rolled the reveille. The shadows creep where night falls deep, and taps has called the end of play. The game is done, the score is in. The final cheer and jeer have passed, but in the night beyond the fight, the player finds his rest at last.
Game called. Upon the field of life, the darkness gathers far and wide. The dream is done, the score is spun, that stands forever in the guide. Nor victory, nor yet defeat, is chalked against the player's name. But down the roll, the final scroll shows only how he played the game.